Live.
Sorry, lose this on the screen. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening and welcome to members, officers and the press and the public joining the local development committee. The meeting's been live streamed on YouTube. So welcome to everyone viewing on YouTube. To minimise travel, most officers are joining this evening's meeting by Zoom. Can everyone present hear me?
Yes.
You can?
Yes.
Lots of nodding of heads. My name is Councillor Harvinder Singh Verdi, the chair of this committee. For members in the room, when you are speaking, can you please speak clearly and loudly so that the microphones can pick you up and what you say more importantly. For those joining us on Zoom, please mute your microphones. And if you are not speaking, please make sure that your microphone's off. I will now ask members of the committee and officers to introduce themselves and introductions, please.
I'm Anne Easter. I'm one of the councillors for Royal Albert Ward.
Hello, I'm Councillor Lewis Godfrey. I am the councillor for Green Street West. Hi, this is Mujibur Rahman, councillor for Green Street East.
Hi, this is Councillor Imam Haq, Councillor from East Ham Ward.
Councillor Salim Patel, Manor Park Ward.
Councillor Viraj Patel, Green Street.
Councillor Saeed Bashar, Little Little.
Councillor Larissa Jiliska, Green Street Eastwood.
Thank you. Officers?
I'm Jane Custance. I'm the Director of Planning and Development. Handing over to Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah Richardson. I'm the Development Manager.
Alex O'Dwyer, Solicitor.
I'm Chloe Toll, Planning Officer.
I'm Calum Chipman, Planning Officer.
I'm Shelley Fortune, Clerk to the meeting.
I'm Maranissa Hussain, Democratic Services Officer.
Thank you very much. And we do have.
I'm Matthew Fasanya, Highways Engineer.
Thank you very much. Okay, I want to remind members that when we take a vote, it'll be by the way of raising your hand in order that we can capture this on the screen clearly. Sorry, just fumbling about with papers. Do we have any apologies?
Thank you, Chair. Apologies for my absence of this seen from councillors Pushpa Makwana and Farmer Odi.
Thank you. Any other apologies? No. Item 2. We have 2 sets of minutes to agree. The first set is from the meeting of the 22nd of November, pages 11 to 25. Any member? Can we agree those minutes? And the second set of minutes we've got is on pages 27 to 30 of the 19th of December. We agreed those as well?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Item 3, declarations of interest. Any member? Any member? Item 4, determining planning applications. Members are asked to note the advice from Head of Legal Services on determining planning applications. Is there noted?
Noted.
Item 5, the committee has received the following request to address the committee. Would speakers please identify themselves when I call out their name? Item 7, Elmar Murphy.
Yes, present.
Thank you. And we do have 2 from
Highways. Highways, isn't it?
from our own team, I suppose I could say, for item 6, to comment if you have got any questions. Okay. The usual practice is to allow 5 minutes in total for both the supporters and the objectors. Well, we have none. Can we agree the remainder of the business as outlined in the agenda?
Agreed.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I call on the presenting officer, Calum Chipman, to present the first application?
Hi.
Item 6.
Okay, great. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it onto sharing screen.
We can see your screen.
We can see.
Yeah. Just on to get it onto present mode.
If you go to the top left, up near the save button, yeah, it's that one. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Okay, so this is item 1 on the committee report, pages 31 to 51. The application site is the land between A13, which is Newham Way, and Royal Docks Road, Greenway. This has been brought before the committee due to the size of the site and also because it is a council scheme. So this is the location plan. As you can see, it's part of the Greenway. And it's to the north of the site is a retail park, and to the south of the site is the London Industrial Centre. Here are some site photographs I took while erecting site notices on a very rainy day. And this shows looking west first, and then looking east. On the north of the site is the Docklands Equestrian Centre, as well as the retail park, which contains B&Q, you might know it, and then the London Industrial Estate to the south. The application for planning permission is for proposed installation of light columns, LED luminaries at approximately 30 metre spacing, CCTV columns at specified locations, and throughout the entirety solar-powered ground-mounted LED wayfinding markers to delineate the edges of the paths in pairs at approximately 10 metre intervals. So the proposal forms part of a programme of larger works along the entirety of Greenway. Here you can see some examples provided by the applicant that show other completed parts of the Greenway at night with the same features already installed as the ones included in this proposal. As you can see, the installation of lighting helps to make the route feel safer and will hopefully encourage more residents to use the route for leisure and commuting. The part of the Greenway, I would say, would become more and more important going forward due to ongoing development along the river and at Gallons Reach. So this illustrates what the proposals propose. These are also key visual imagery of the proposal. These on the left show the ground-mounted LED lights in the floor, and on the right is the street lighting. So moving on to the principle of development, it's supported. It allows for broader access to the route at more times a day for more residents. These proposals seek to improve the functionality of the walking cycling route for the benefit of Newham residents. The proposal conforms to Newham's adopted Greenway Vision document. The proposal accords with the National Planning Policy Framework, London Plan, and the Newham Local Plan. The proposals accord with local plan policies regarding the borough's spatial strategy and its overriding vision for Beckton. They seek to promote enhanced walking and cycling routes throughout the borough and specifically aid walking and cycling permeability and connectivity in Beckton. These are the considerations that were part of my assessment. Impacts neighbouring amenity. So the lack of residential properties neighbouring the site means any impacts on residential amenity is minimal. The existing uses north and south of the subject site are commercial and industrial, which already lead to quite high levels of light pollution. The equipment, by reason of its modest scale and siting well within the Greenway, will not give rise to any detrimental impact upon the visual amenity or residential amenity of the surrounding area. Further, no representations were received. So the proposal is supported in relation to impact on neighbouring amenity. Impact on green space. So the subject site on the Greenway in its entirety is identified under Newham Local Plans Policy as green space, a linear open space. It is also metropolitan open land and a site of importance for nature conservation. The proposal would not alter the use of the open space. It would only allow broad access to the route. Also, the proposed works won't require the removal of any established vegetation. Bats utilising the Greenway are an important consideration to have, but these have been mitigated by the use of bat hats on the ground-mounted solar-powered LEDs, which reduce upward light spillage by about 80%. Again, given the modest scale of the works, the siting, the functionality, the proposal is not considered to adversely affect the biodiversity of the area, including bats. All greenways function as a designated green space, metropolitan open land, and a site of importance for nature conservation. Other considerations were archaeology. The site is identified as an archaeological priority area. Therefore, Historic England's Greater London Archaeological Advisory Service were consulted on the application. They had no objections. This was due to the development unlikely to have significant harm in terms of any archaeological interest due to the minimal amount of groundworks. In terms of highways, firstly, highways team were consulted on the application and officers received no comments on the proposal. Also, in my assessment, that the lighting is wholly within the Greenway and is designed in a manner that will not disturb vehicular highways users and will not result in any harm. So with respect to these two matters, archaeology and highway, the development is also supported. So this is my recommendation. My recommendation is that the Local Development Committee agree the reasons for approval as set out in the committee report on page 33 and delegate authority to the Director of Planning and Development to grant planning permission subject to the conditions listed in Appendix 8 of the committee report. Thank you for your time. I'll hand back to the chair.
Thank you. Members, any questions?
I should have mentioned this earlier, and I apologise in advance. This area actually falls within my portfolio. I just want to seek some advice from the legal officer with regards to that.
Hi, Councillor. Yeah, just to clarify, within your portfolio, as in within your portfolio as a cabinet member?
Yes, as a deputy lead for environment.
And just to check, in terms of the specifics of this application, have you had any involvement in it, or are you sort of aware of it? Do you consider that it would in any way, your position would in any way prejudice your ability to consider the application with an open mind?
That's quite a long-winded question. Do you mind asking that in a different?
Yeah, in terms of your position as a deputy cabinet member, do you consider that that would prejudice your ability to consider this application with an open mind?
I'm not sure if I can answer that question.
Basically, the question is, do you consider that you've had an input into this scheme?
I've not, no.
And do you think you could make a decision with an open mind with the scheme that is in front of us?
I can.
You can? You've had no input?
Prefer not to be involved in the discussions.
Okay, so I would say you don't have to take part in the vote. Okay? It would be far clearer and easier moving forward. Okay?
Great.
Or the vote, Chair? The item in its entirety, that's what you're saying?
That in the item in entirety.
Thank you.
Okay. So.
Thank you, Chair.
Any other member? We have got Matthew here, the applicant and the officer presenting the report. Any questions for Matthew? No? I do have two questions. The first one is when we look at, it's got nothing to do with the report itself. It's just to see if we can enhance the the signage that's there. It's not part of the application, but as a way of us moving forward, it's something which the officers take away and consider in the future. That we're doing this works there, and maybe it'll bring something up a bit more. I don't know if you want to comment on that, Matthew?
Yes, sir. That's a very good point that was made about regarding refreshing the existing signage there.
Ask the officer. So the,
Is Callum still on Zoom?
yes, he is.
Yeah, Callum, do you want to show us that picture? What I'm referring to, I think it's on page T4. That's the picture there on the left. What I'm thinking about is, considering that we're doing the upgrade with the lighting, would it benefit to have the signage upgraded, not necessarily with new lighting, but just maybe a paint job? That could be possible.
Be nice, yeah,
Bring it up a bit more.
liven it up.
Callum, would it be possible to include that as a condition so officers pick that?
So due to that not being included in the proposals in this application, it's not something that we would consider in this application when councillors are voting on it. But obviously that can be a discussion between councillors and the highways team, I assume.
I can always send an email to Jamie Cook and say that was the wish of the committee.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Instead of it as a condition, which we can't put as a for the application, we can just move as a nice to have.
Yes, a recommendation.
A nice to have.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? I did have one other question. Can you just tell us where the CCTV, I know it's got nothing to do with the application again, but as a safety measure, where does the CCTV gets monitored?
It will get, the images will get sent back to the Folkestone Road Depot at Delta One, and they'll be monitored. Council as a highway authority can do, because the images are from a public highway. So cyclists and walkers will have the confidence that security is paramount on the route, and they can use the route with absolute confidence, because it is somewhat remote from the main drag for pedestrians. So the CCTV is to enhance security and the feeling.
Thank you. Can we move to the recommendation if there's no other question?
Yes, please.
The recommendation. Okay, we have the recommendation up on the screen on page 33. All those members in favour? So approved unanimously.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Matthew. You're welcome to stay for the next item of the report, if you want. We move on to the next item, which is on page, I've lost myself now. Page 20. I've lost myself, sorry. Right, page 53 to 72. Chloe will be presenting this report.
Thank you, Chair. Can I please confirm if everyone can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, item 7 relates to Little Ilford School. Little Ilford School is a secondary school located between the Manor Park and Little Ilford areas. The site is predominantly surrounded by 2 to 3 story residential properties with some small commercial units. The main school site entrance is located at Rectory Road, although there are other access points on Church Road and Browning Road. The submitted design and access statement outlines that the school is in the process of expanding to become a 12-form entry school with a total capacity of 1,800 students and 360 staff. The application seeks permission to construct an external staircase to the rear of the main school building to improve student access and install an external canopy to the Autism Spectrum Disorder Garden to provide sheltered external play area. The submitted design and access statement outlines that the existing school building has experienced high levels of congestion during peak times. A student flow study was carried out which confirmed that most of the congestion was experienced between second floor and first floor. The photo on the left shows the existing street view from St. Mary's Approach, and the photo on the right shows the existing main playground to the rear of the main building. The location of the proposed staircase is annotated within the yellow circles. The photo on this slide shows the existing ASD garden, which currently does not have any shelter. The location of the proposed canopy is annotated within the yellow circle. As shown on the proposed site plan, the proposed external staircase would be positioned towards the northern end of the main school building, and the proposed canopy would be enclosed by the main school building, the entrance pavilion, and the Little Ilford Learning Zone. The proposed external staircase would be 3 stories and 11 meters in height, which is below the height of the existing building. The proposed flat roof would be akin to the roof design of the main building. There would be an 8-meter setback from the existing building exits at ground and first floor level to maintain the existing escape routes from the main building and the auditorium. It will be connected at second floor only via an external covered walkway and a small extension. The proposed canopy within the ASD garden would feature a monopitched roof with a maximum height of 3.9 meters. The principle of the use of the site for education is established. Additional and improved educational facilities to meet the growing and diverse needs of the borough's young population would be supported. Parts of the site has a green space allocation. Whilst the proposed canopy is within the designated green space, the green space was affected as part of the previous proposals, and the proposed scheme would not result in any net loss in green space. Having regard to the above, it is considered that the proposed development would improve the accessibility and safety of students, staff, and visitors. The principle of the proposal is therefore supported. In terms of design, the proposed staircase and canopy are considered to be of an appropriate scale that would appear in keeping with the buildings that currently exist within the school site. The council's design and conservation officer raised no objection to the proposal. The materials proposed appear to be suitable. However, more details, including samples, are required to ensure they are of sufficiently high standard of quality and robustness. Therefore, a condition is recommended to secure submission of details prior to above ground works. Subject to condition requiring further details on materials, the proposals are considered to be acceptable in relation to design considerations. In terms of impacts to neighboring amenity, the separation distances and the design of the proposed staircase would maintain a satisfactory level of privacy, and there would be no adverse loss of daylight or sunlight to existing residential occupiers. The proposed canopy would not be visible by residential properties and would not cause undue harm to residential amenities. No comments were received from members of the public, and in order to protect nearby residents from excess noise generation during construction works, a condition is recommended to restrict working hours. The proposal is therefore supported with regards to neighboring amenities subject to this condition. Other considerations include heritage contaminated land and habitat regulation assessment. The Greater London Archaeological Advisory Service reviewed the proposal and confirmed that harm is not of the type or level that warrants archaeological investigation. To the northeast of the site is the Grade 1 listed Church of St. Mary the Virgin. It is separated from the site by existing 2-story terrace houses on St. Mary's approach. Given the nature of the proposals and their location within the site, officers consider that it does not affect the setting of the designated heritage asset. The application site falls within a source protection zone. No objections were raised by LBN environmental health officers with regards to contaminated land given the scale of the development. The application is outside the scope of the Epping Forest mitigation strategy. With respect to the above matters, the proposed development is supported. To conclude, the Local Development Committee is asked to resolve to agree the reasons for approval set out in the officer report and delegate authority to the Director of Planning and Development to grant planning permission subject to the condition listed in Appendix 8. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Could I ask, please, is the staircase going to have a handrail? At least one?
Yes, I can answer that. The staircase will have a handrail, and that will be designed to building regulations.
Great, thank you.
Any further questions? No? No? Can we move to the recommendation? Okay. Asked to approve the application. All those in favour? Okay, that's agreed unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you, officers. Very nice. Okay.
Done.
Right.
And the date of the next meeting is on the 23rd of May, Can I thank all the officers and all the members for attending the meetings? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Recess first.
I move that the meeting's closed. It's 3 minutes to 7.
Give me a hint.